What's good, everyone? Bryson Price here. I know this video is a little bit different from what I normally do, but I just thought I would let you in on what I'm doing today. I'm making concrete weights. I feel like at some point the quarantines will come back, you know, whether it's this year or in the future. You know, I just feel like it's gonna happen again at some point. I don't know why. I just feel like that, and I want to be prepared because the last time I was not prepared, and then I had to lift a broomstick with guava juices and then walk to a local park where they sent me home and told me I couldn't be out there because of quarantine. But when I would try to go out there, and I was able to sometimes, but sometimes I would get sent home. So yeah, today I'm building concrete weights. And yeah, I'm gonna show you the process. That's what I'm doing today. So let me show you here real quick what I have at home so far. And I know this is really different from my usual videos on my channel, but I don't know, there might be someone out here that's interested in seeing this, so just thought I would film the process. But this is what I have so far at home. I got this bench off of Facebook Marketplace, and I'm gonna put the timestamps in the description. If you're watching this back after the live, I'm gonna put all that, like, so you can skip around, you know. So just make sure and look in the description. There will be timestamps. So this is what I have. It's a 1-inch bar, and then I bought these on Facebook Marketplace as well, like little dumbbells. And then there's like a something that you can work your quads and your hamstrings with too. So that's like the basic of what I got here, and I'll show you what I've made so far with the weights. Close the gate here. So this is what I've got so far. I've made, this one didn't work out too well, but this one, I believe this is I can't remember, actually I can't remember how heavy that is. I think it's 10. I think this one's 10, and then these two are 15. I know I definitely made 10s and 15s. I'd have to weigh it to see which one is which. But this is what I'm working with here. So I'm gonna show you how I make these concrete weights. I'm gonna set the camera up right here so you can see what I'm doing. And let me grab my bag of concrete here. So a couple of materials that you know I've used here is, let me flip the camera around. A couple of the materials I'm using here is actually my food scale. So this is more precise than a scale that you would weigh yourself on. So that's why I'm using it. But I'm double checking it with the regular scale. So I've got both of them right here. So, and then the very first step, I found the best method is to weigh the concrete, however much concrete you need, just to weigh it. And then once you put the water in, the concrete hardens up later, but I've found that pretty much all of the water evaporates from what I've seen so far. But so that's just my method right now. If I need a 10-pound weight, I'm gonna weigh 10 pounds, mix in the water, and then pour it into the bucket where I have the mold. So yeah, let me do that real quick. All right, over here, baby. Let me see if I can point this camera down so you can see what I'm doing here. Baby, don't touch that. All right, so I'm going to put this bucket on the scale here, and I'm gonna weigh this. I'm trying to make a 5-pound weight. So what I'm gonna do is zero out the scale and pour the concrete until I see the scale reach 5 pounds. So right here, watch out, baby. So I'm gonna put it here. I don't know if y'all could see that there or not, but I'll set the camera up here because I don't think y'all will be able to see the scale turning. And this food scale, I found it goes up to about 15 pounds and then it shuts off. So if I want larger than 15 pounds, oh no, baby, don't touch that, leave that there. If I want more than 15 pounds, then I have to do it in 2 separate buckets. So right now I'm pouring this, and actually one thing I do, maybe don't touch that. One thing I do is I put about 2 ounces more into the bucket than than what I'm looking for. So right now I'm looking for a 5-pound weight. So what I've done here is I put about like 5.2 ounces just in case, because it's easy to shave some off if you need, if it's too heavy, but I think it's a little bit harder to add weight. So that's why I'm putting a little bit extra in there. And I almost have this PVC cut. I pre-cut it a little bit here before the video, but I'm gonna finish cutting it off here because that's gonna be the center of the weight. So let me finish cutting this here. It's really hard to cut PVC straight from, maybe I'm just not good at it, but I've had a lot of trouble with that. So this PVC, this is gonna be the center. As you can see on the weights over here, that's PVC in the center. This one I have shaved down pretty good. This one I still need to shave this one down. I was waiting for it to harden up, but yeah, that's gonna be the center. What's up, David? How you doing, man? Yeah, so I feel like the quarantines will come back. I don't know if it'll come back this year. I feel like at some point in the future it will. Like I think these things will keep happening. So I want to be prepared, Israel just went into full lockdown again recently. I feel like that's why I just want to be prepared, So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna mix some water into the bucket here. My daughter's over there playing. Can you say hi, baby? Yeah, so yeah, man, I'm not trying to be negative about the quarantines or anything, and I'm not saying it will happen, but I just feel like, it's just, I think it's inevitable. I think it's gonna happen again at some point. So let me turn the water on here. And let's pour some water in here. Pour a little bit like that first to start off with. All right. And then I'm just gonna mix this here. Mix this concrete in. Let me do it like this. I'll raise this up. And then trying to see the best way that I can move this this camera for y'all to see. Oh, okay. This thing is new. I just found this, so let's lock it down like this. I think this would be better for y'all to see. I probably should have had this prep beforehand for y'all, but yeah, so I poured a little bit of water in there. And in case y'all are just now tuning in, what I'm doing is making concrete weights. I know it's different from what I usually do on my videos, but I've used a food scale because it's more precise in measuring the concrete. Like a normal household weight scale, it's usually not as accurate as a food scale. So that's what I'm doing here, mixing in the concrete. I'm making a 5-pound weight. I put 5 pounds of concrete mix and then just poured some water. I think I poured a little bit too much water. I already made two 15-pound weights, and I made two 10-pound weights already. I might actually just make this into a, I might have to make this into a 10-pound weight because I put way too much water and I don't want to pour it out. But let me go grab my scale. My daughter took it. It's really hard to do this while she's out here because she'll like take stuff and she'll get into things and I have to go get her. But it's the dad life, you know. So let me pour about, I'm gonna do 5 more ounces or 5 more pounds in here. Make this a 10-pound weight. All right. So that's gonna be a 10-pound weight right there. Put that off to the side. Let me mix this in. Yeah, it takes a little bit to mix this stuff in. And yeah, if you're watching this back later, not on live, I'm putting timestamps in the description, so you can kind of fast forward through some of the stuff, because in real time, it takes a little bit of time to do this stuff. So if you're watching it back, just make sure you look in the description and you'll see like timestamps and stuff. All right, I think I actually need a little bit more water now. So I'm gonna try not to pour too much water, but just a little bit here. Hopefully that wasn't too much. It might have been, actually. I might have put too much again. How are y'all doing today, though? What's new with y'all? I'll be live streaming a production session in a little bit, maybe in about an hour or so. So y'all will see me then also. Thought I would make a quick concrete weight though before I eat lunch and feed my daughter. Yeah, so I think I actually put too much water in here again, but that's okay. I think it'll just take longer to settle. I don't think it'll mess anything up. I could go for another 15-pound weight though. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll try to. Maybe I'll go. I need more weight, so let me do that. So I was originally going for a 5-pound weight, and then I put too much water in here. And then I went for a 10-pound weight. I put too much water again, and now I'm going for a 15-pound weight. So I'm gonna add another 5 pounds. I just bought 80 pounds of concrete yesterday at Lowe's, but it was only like $5. So this will be it'll be a lot cheaper than buying weights, because where I'm living, weights are about $2 a pound. Yeah, it's expensive. The prices have gone up since the quarantines happened. All right, so that's another 5 pounds right there. Yeah, so concrete, hopefully, I might be able to give y'all an update later, but hopefully this will last a long time. I'll show you the process of what I've learned to where I don't know anything about concrete actually, but just from what I've researched, if you put a little bit of metal when you're pouring the mix, it helps hold it together, and I'll show you how I do that. So I'm mixing in another 5 pounds. I'm gonna make this a 15-pound weight. And yeah, while I'm mixing this, let me know what y'all are up to today. What are y'all doing? So this is gonna be 15 pounds right here. And I might have to add a little bit more water. And honestly, like the reason why I just saw that somebody commented. I didn't see who it was though. It disappeared. But the reason why I'm doing 15-pound weights is because I weigh 140. I don't lift that heavy, like right, and especially right now I'm trying to work through some some compensations that I've formed throughout the years, some bad compensations. So I'm taking things slow. I'm focusing on the mind-muscle connection, focusing on my form and all that. So I'm not going super heavy. I'm going about 10-12 reps per set, and maybe even higher sometimes, just to focus on my form. But yeah, so when I bench, I do dumbbells, but if I were to use like a barbell, I'd probably only bench 100 pounds, in my working set. So I don't need the weights to be that heavy. So I don't even think I'll make a 45-pound weight. I think all I'll need is, I might need a 25-pound weight. That might be something. I might need a different mold for that though. Hey baby, don't touch that concrete. I might need a 25-pound weight at some point, but for right now, like this works. This will work for right now. 15 pounds, 15 and then maybe 25. I might need 25, but I'll definitely need at least 4 15-pound weights, and I only have 2 right now. But yeah, I'm sorry if y'all are commenting. I can't, if I happen to look when y'all are commenting, I can see it. But other than that, I don't know where the chat is on here. But if y'all keep commenting, I might see it. I'm looking up at the screen every now and then. All right, pour a little bit more into the mix here. So I might need a little bit more water, but I don't want to make the mistake that I've made 2 times already, and that's pouring too much water. So let me just pour a little bit of water here. All right. Yeah, and the concrete, I've said this before in the live stream, but the concrete that I bought, it was about 5 pounds, $5 for about 80 pounds. That is a really good price, because right now the steel weights here in Dallas, when people are selling them, you might be able to find it for $1 a pound, but usually it's about $2 a pound. So I'm not about to pay that. And I thought it would be a cool experience to learn how to make my own weights, because if I was ever, like let's say I moved overseas or something, they didn't have a gym. I don't know why I would be moving overseas, but what if that happened? Then I could be prepared. They have concrete everywhere in the world, All right, let's pour this last little bit in here, and then I'll be ready to pour the mold. Or I don't know why I'm calling it a mold, but it's just a bucket. I'm pouring the concrete into the bucket with the PVC pipe in the middle. And then I let it sit for about 24 hours. I take it out and then let it dry more. Can you say hi, baby? Look. Can you say hi? These are my mint leaves right here. And then my neighbor gave me this plant. But yeah, I like making tea out of that. My dream is to live somewhere like Brazil, where my family's from, or somewhere where it's tropical, and I could just plant stuff and plant teas and stuff. That would be awesome. Plant herbs and teas and fruit trees and vegetables. But who knows, you know, wherever God leads me, I'll go. But that's what I desire, though. Okay, so I've got this ready, and I'm gonna show you how I pour the mold here, or sorry, how I pour the concrete into the bucket with the PVC pipe in the middle. Let's see how I'm gonna do this. I might raise the camera up for that. Let's do this here. I'm gonna raise the camera up, and I think that would be good right there. Let me go grab the bucket. So I think that now this, let me measure this PVC pipe. It might be a little bit too short because I wasn't planning on doing 15-pound weight. All right, so I measured it with the other weight, and it looks like this will be the right size, but it's gonna be cutting it really close. So let's hope this works, y'all. Let's hope it works. So I'm gonna pour the concrete in here now. I think y'all can see that. So I'm just gonna pour this in here. I'm gonna hold the PVC pipe so that it doesn't move. And I'm gonna just try to pour this on the side of the bucket here. All right, let's see if this works. All right, and then I'm gonna pour about half of it, which I think that's about half right there, okay? Pour about half of it, and then I'm gonna try to put some of that wire in the middle. I bought some metal wire, and that just helps hold the, hey baby, don't step on that, don't step on that. That helps hold the concrete mix together, okay? So I'm gonna shake this around a little bit and flatten it out. I know I'm talking like I know what I'm doing, but I really kind of don't know what I'm doing. I'm just experimenting. I built a couple weights. They seem to have turned out pretty good, but all right, now I'm gonna put those metal bars in the middle. Let me go grab those real quick. It's not really a bar, they're just metal pieces. Let me see if I can flatten this out on the sides a little bit better. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna put these are the little metal pieces here. I'm gonna put these here. And I don't know if that's the proper way. Typically what I've seen online is like a rebar, if you know what rebar is. But this was like the cheapest option that I found, and I think it'll work. So I'm just gonna put it like that, maybe spread it out a little bit more. Kind of like in a hashtag shape. Put about 4 in there. And then I'm gonna finish pouring the rest here. I'm gonna try to get it even. Let me hold that PVC pipe in the middle again. I see some water coming through in the middle, but in the past, it's been pretty easy to poke a hole on the other side once it comes out. I just got to make sure not to let the concrete get into the middle there. I think it's shielding it out, and I don't know how much of that y'all can see, but basically I've been explaining what I'm doing here. Okay. Now let me flatten this out a little bit. It's gonna be cutting it close. Hopefully that PVC pipe will be big enough. Because when I started the video, I wasn't thinking to make a 15-pound weight like I am now. I poured too much water, and so I just kept adding mix. But yeah, I think that's gonna be perfect, that size. So I won't have to trim that PVC pipe later. So that's gonna be good. Okay. All right, so now I'm just gonna try to flatten this out a little bit here. The concrete's kind of uneven on the top, so I'm just gonna pick the bucket up here and gently put it down on the ground to kind of flatten everything out. Get rid of some of the air bubbles. And then I've heard that tapping the sides like this, it helps get rid of some of those air bubbles in the middle. So yeah, so now this just needs to sit here and dry. And there's a little bit more liquid in the middle than what I've had in the past. Let me see if you could see in there. As you can see, like some of that liquid from the concrete got in the middle, whereas in the other ones it didn't. I don't think that'll be a problem. I think I can just poke that out after. That's what I've been able to do in the past, but I'm using a little bit of a different concrete right now. It's cheaper, and it's not fast setting like the other one. It might take a little bit longer to settle in, but it was cheaper, so I went for it. So yeah, so we'll see how this turns out, y'all. But that's basically the process, though. Let me, I'm gonna wrap this video up here in a second. Let me raise this straight here. Okay. So basically, let me just recap this. Basically, what you want to do, and this recap is not for, I mean, it's for you guys watching live right now, but mainly it's for the people who come to watch it back. So if you're watching this back, just make sure that you look in the description. I'm going to put timestamps when the video's done. But let me explain to you here. So what you want to do if you want to make concrete weights is weigh the amount of concrete you need. And I use a food scale. I use my food scale because it's more precise than like a weight scale like that. Okay, so that's how I weigh the concrete, and then after the concrete's weighed, I pour water into it. You want to make sure the consistency is not too liquidy, but I don't prefer the concrete to be too thick either. So as you can tell, this weight right here that's done, it's a lot smoother. And especially the other side here. This is really smooth right here. I don't know if you could see that in the camera. I think you can. But this is really smooth. Now, this was the first weight I ever did right here. This one was a little bit drier. When I poured the concrete was a little bit drier. The rest of these were more wet, I guess. So I prefer the smoother look. I might end up spray painting it later or something, but I just prefer the smoother look. So that's why I prefer the concrete to be a little bit more wet. I don't care if it takes a little bit longer to dry at this point, because I'm kind of preparing for the future. I don't really need to use them right now. It takes concrete about 28 days to fully settle and to solidify, so I'm cool with that. But yeah, so you take the concrete, you weigh the amount you need. In my case, I wanted to do 5 pounds, but I put too much water, so I just made it a 15-pound weight. I weighed 15 pounds, and then I added a couple ounces just to, you know, be on the safe side in case I needed, you know, unless too much evaporated. I don't want the weight to be too little. If I need to shave some off later, that's fine. So I added a little bit of extra just as safety insurance, and then I mix it around until it gets more or less, you know, a good consistency. And then I had the PVC pipe cut. I cut the PVC pipe. I put it in the middle, hold the PVC pipe, pour the concrete around it, and try to make sure not to let any concrete mix get in the middle. But later, if it does, you could probably just clean it out and poke a hole through it. So that's the basic process, and then I'll let it sit for about 24 hours. And after about 24 hours, I'll take the mold out, and then that's what those are doing over there. I have those sitting. A couple of them have been here for, I think some of them have been here for like 3 days, some of them 1 or 2 days. But I'm just gonna let them sit there and continue to harden up. Hey baby, don't touch that. So yeah, that's it. Hope y'all learned something. That's gonna be it. I've got to eat lunch. I got to feed my daughter lunch, and then I'll be live streaming. So I will see y'all then. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will get to them. I don't even know if anybody's gonna be interested in this, but just thought I would show you what I'm doing. And if you are interested in doing it or have any questions, just, you know where to find me on YouTube. Drop a comment, and I will see y'all next time.